The light is the divine. There's two aspects to God. There's a personal aspect to God, which is a form. God comes in a form to an individual as Jesus or Moses or Krishna or, however, an angel and a dolphin. And there's the transpersonal absolute aspect of God, which is pure consciousness. And that's the aspect of God that is before creation, beyond creation, and the creation itself. So it's the unmanifest pure consciousness. And that unmanifest pure consciousness is the light that comes in and forms creation. And so the light is beyond the form. And really my connection, my deepest connection is beyond any form. It's to the formless aspect, which is the light, which is pure consciousness. I was in Goa, India, in 1992, and I just left living in an ashram in India for about 8 weeks with an avatar, and the ashram life was not for me. I'd left the ashram and I was totally fed up with the traditional path, and all I wanted was to go deep within and find God. And so what I did is I went out on a rock in front of the ocean after having been there about a week, and I sat on this rock, and I bowed my hands together, and then I laid down flat on my face, prostrate on the rock like that, and I said from the bottom of my heart, divine light, if I can't see your face, and you don't show yourself to me, and literally come and introduce yourself to me, and give me the direct experience of you, then I'm going to stay on this rock, and I'm going to choose to die and leave my body. And I heard this very still, small voice that came in to my head, and it was undeniably the voice of God. And the voice said to me, get up and go back to your cabin. So I got up and I walked back to my cabin. And when I walked into my cabin, I literally was hit by a bolt of spiritual lightning. It wasn't physical lightning, but it was spiritual lightning. It was an electrical current that passed through my body from the top to the bottom, knocked me over, and I fell back, and I laughed and cried for about 6 to 8 hours. And in that moment, I experienced the enlightenment of the Buddha. I experienced the enlightenment of Jesus. I experienced the moment of awakening of every divine master, great prophet, and great saint that has been commemorated throughout history. I was in the moment of their realization, of their awakening, experiencing exactly what they had experienced. And I was living it as them, vicariously flipping through these different awakened beings through their state of awakening in that moment. And then I experienced going through all of my past lifetimes, all of my future lifetimes, and then I just kind of jumped off the board into the light. And suddenly there was completely an experience of nothing, as if I had transcended duality. And then I had an experience of transcending to what I call a heavenly realm. And I believe it was like a near-death experience. I really do believe that I died in that moment, because I was or near death, certainly. I was face to face with the divine being. And there was a dialogue that took place where I was shown a film of the rest of my life and what I could live out if I chose to go back. And I made a commitment in that moment that I would come back to serve humanity, to help serve all of humanity, and on a global level. And I also committed to teach the teachers, which is training the light workers. Part of my job was given to me that I was to awaken the leaders in communities all over the world so that they could hold the light. And then at that point, I agreed to come back to my body, but I came back kicking and screaming. And when I came back in, I was unable to function for 6 to 8 weeks, because I was the hand that lifted up the food. I was the food that was going into the mouth. I had to instruct my leg to step, my foot to move, to take a step. You know, I was the cows in the field, the grass in the field, the daisies in the field, the stars in the sky. I was merged into all of the elements, and I was simultaneously living as the divine being that was witnessing through every life form in existence. And that lasted like that for 8 weeks. It took me about 2 years after that experience wore off to see solid form. Everything was vibrating golden light, or semi-precious gemstones, everything was made out of. And I could see all the crystalline structures, the etheric templates, could see people's thoughts every time they thought them, like streamers, golden streamers coming out of the top of people's heads. I was seeing people as blue gods and goddesses walking in form, and I didn't get how they didn't get that they were divine. And I was able to hear the voice of God talking within me from that point forth, crystal clear, as a full, clear channel. So the divine light said, you have to help others to realize what you've realized. And I said, well, I haven't a clue how to do that, because I don't know how I got here. I didn't do anything to get here. I just kind of died. I just laid my life down and surrendered fully. That's all I did. And the divine said, well, you don't have to know what to do. I will do it through you. Just be the open channel, and I will guide others through you. And so basically, I've heavily relied on hearing the inner voice, and I'm told in clear sentences, clear words, clear sentences, in all of my transmissions, in all of my teachings, in all of my private sessions. I'm shown exactly what I need to see, told exactly what I need to know, what I need to hear. And I have chosen since 1992 to live my life as a servant of the divine light and as a servant of humanity, to help awaken humanity on a global level, to raise their consciousness, to raise their vibration, to help them to realize and awaken who they are to their divinity. People have a wrong concept out in the world of what enlightenment is. They have an expectation that it's something unreachable, that it's intangible, that it's out of range, and it's mysterious to humanity. And it's really not, actually. Enlightenment is actually to be fully connected to the light. That's it. It's just very simple. When you're fully connected to the light, all the time, 24/7, you're connected to the light. And that really is the first stage of enlightenment, just to be connected. So what that means is the light is constantly running through you, and you can never lose the connection. It doesn't go away, no matter what. You know, what's really important is your relationship with the divine, which is your relationship with your inner being. So time with your inner being to really go inside, go within, and develop that deep practice of relationship, meditation, inner listening, inner dictation, whatever you want to call it, and then being able to live from your inner being out in the world versus the opposite model, which is current in the world today, which is buy more, you know, have a better car, get a bigger house, accumulate more wealth. Success is without, and if you get more, then ultimately you're going to be able to get there. But it gets you nowhere. You just have to leave it all behind you when you leave this world and you have no spiritual wealth. It's really accumulating the spiritual wealth and teaching humanity this is your focus. You need to reprioritize and take it back to what's, you know, really, really important. If humanity is awakening now into unity consciousness, it's time for everybody to step up into their leadership and take responsibility so we can support everybody in the entire community now to do that. It's very important because it's a seedling. Humanity's growing spirituality just as a little tiny seedling that needs to be protected and nurtured now because it's so new what's occurring on the planet. We've never seen an evolution in consciousness like we're seeing occur on the planet today. We're so gifted to be here at this time. This is what we were born for. We came for this.